I really appreciate the double tonguing and triple tonguing that you included. Um, that's the one extended technique that I've just been unable to master over the last 20 years. Like it's just every single time I feel, probably because I never finish it and then it slips away. And
Right.
taking 10 years off to like gig in a pop band is not, you don't really find the functionality of practicing double tonguing every day.
Those would be some strange pop tunes if you're doing double tone.
But I was, yeah, when you said that you were like grabbing from other resources, I was, there was a while where I was using I didn't find a saxophone double tonguing book that really like existed. And so I was looking constantly at brass stuff.
Yeah.
So it's nice to know that like, oh, this has some double tonguing and it's like effective, and you really, the way you spell out the variation and the importance of understanding the consonant and being able to produce the consonant.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That comes from a notion that has informed my teaching of technique and forever, and that's precision creates speed.
Yeah,
And
I wrote that
in
down.
that
That's a quote that I had written down.
in
That's a
that
good one.
in always in that order, because far too often folks, they'll work something up fast and then they'll try and make it more precise. And it's, like starting to learn to ride a bicycle at the speed that you see downhill Tour de France, then worrying about balance. It just doesn't work.
Yeah,
So no, you always want to begin with precision. And when it comes to most fundamentals, the best way to create precision is to develop really fine coordination.
yeah,
And so with double tonguing, people are always worried about getting a right out of the gate, or a triple, or and all that sort of stuff. And you take it back for a second and make sure that you are just saying those four right.
yeah,
Just dugga. Because what you see there again is that was something that I struggled with quite a bit too. And what I had to do was to quite plainly speak those patterns that you see there. I added some over the years into triple and whatnot, but I couldn't literally speak dugga.
yeah.
I would get tripped up 2 syllables in.
Where
You
where
know,
are where are you from originally? From New York? Just out of,
grew up in the Hudson Valley near in
okay.
Poughkeepsie.
I
Yeah,
gotcha. I'm
near
from
there.
like Albany area, so yeah.
Oh, okay, excellent.
Okay. Yeah.
And yeah, my family is very much pan New York. We got a city, Long Island, upstate, and all that stuff.
Gotcha.
And then, of course, Potsdam is about as far upstate as you get.
Yeah, no kidding.
Um,
Yeah, everyone downstate seems to end up there if they.
hey, man, good school, good reputation,
Yeah.
and you can't beat those in-state SUNY prices.
Yeah,
I tell everybody that I got the best deal in the world. I got to study with Tim McAllister for several years for in-state New York prices.
right. Yeah.
So, but anyway, so yeah, with the multi-tonguing, I was thought of as a weirdo when I was at Potsdam, but because I would walk around to Crane from the dorm, just going.
Yeah, yeah. Some
Every
sometimes I
damn
so
day.
often think like a lot of the issues that happen specifically like in woodwinds is sometimes just like our own dialect is keeping us like just has something that we're missing because we don't realize because the way we speak generally might not incorporate that like enunciation.
Right.
Yeah, and so that I often think about that sometimes, or maybe it's
Mhm.
just me coming up with an excuse on why I haven't double tongued yet.
No,
But
I tell you what, they have those thoughts about a lot of that language informs a lot of times like what vocal range is most prominent. Why are there so many, super low Russian basses? Well, is it maybe the hugely glottal nature of a lot of their consonants that encourages a bit of
yeah,
vocal
yeah,
cord
yeah.
swelling? Um, it, and
Facts.
and the,
Yeah.
the thing about it is that some people just plainly are born with better coordination at things.
Yeah.
We all
Yeah.
know
It
that.
just
We've all seen
happens.
that. You do any sport, you see that. Some people can throw a spiral, with their first week. Other
Hmm.
people, you give them a year, they're still wobbling. That sort of thing. And the tongue is no different. And so, quite plainly, I had to get that second syllable able to move because it was locking quite a bit. And the way to do that wasn't just to go to exhaustion all the damn time,
Yeah.
because again, that I was just being super unsubtle and just and almost like
Yeah.
coughing the second syllable. So lightening that up and thinking about different syllables, as I suggest there, different vowels, as you're doing it, and just to try and really unlock that mechanism the way kind of like a lot of speech pathologists do. You know, when people have certain, not necessarily impediments, but you're just clearing up, vowels and clearing up enunciation and pronunciation.
Yeah, yeah.
You go through every possible way of thinking of a vowel from the start to the end. So
Yeah.
starting and ending with a K, a hard K, or a D, or a G, or whatever,
It's
and
recreating
going
that
through,
synapse.
yeah, and going through every permutation of how you think of, an E vowel. And that's super useful for tongue placement and really refining that, because I think that's what, when you're refining your multiple articulation, that's the difference between registers,
Yeah.
is that really fine control of the vowel. But for a lot of folks, that's the way in, because they just were taught, you go taka taka, and they do that, and it never gets faster because it's super unsubtle, and they're moving their tongue way too much
They're
to
like,
do
well,
it.
I'm doing
And
it.
so,
I'm doing it.
yeah,
But
yeah.
it's not actually what you're supposed to be doing.
No, and they can make it kind of happen on like middle C, and then the minute they step out of that, they're getting all squeaks
Yeah.
and
How
so
do you do it on a high F? I don't know.
yeah, exactly. Well,
course
right,
it-
yeah, it shouldn't be the same as a low B flat.